Hi folks. After my first video on Val Fraudits, I didn't think I'd have anything coming from him for quite some time. Boy, was I surprised today. He just dropped this video not too long ago of him annoying a cop watching traffic for speeders and impaired drivers, and his insane, crazy ramblings on stealing the money from the private sector. So let's watch this frauditor make a fool of himself, shall we?
Have over here. Looks like we've got a state-sanctioned professional extortionist over here, looking for any excuse he can find to rob a private sector human of their money.
No, I don't see that. And I don't think the viewers see that either. I think they see a cop watching traffic and a frauditor sneaking up to try to ambush him with stupid questions, and so we can call shenanigans on him.
Let's go take a look and see if we can get some questions answered here.
Huh? How are you?
Hey man, you're looking a little suspicious out here. Mind telling me if you got permission to be on this property?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Public. It's a roadway, sir. I'm watching traffic.
You're watching traffic?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I see. You, got anything I need to know about in your car? Is anything illegal? Drugs? Anything like that?
Is there anything in your car that we should be known about? Any drugs or weapons? Because we all know you're a huge advocate for marijuana. So is there any marijuana in your car, Val?
Yes, sir.
You, mind if I search?
You're not searching my vehicle.
You can decline a recommendation or a request to search the car?
Asking anyone else.
You have something to hide?
Got him!
Two things, Val. One, anybody can decline the search of their automobile. It's well known that you can decline the search and seizure of your property. However, the second thing I want to bring up is this. You cannot search a cop car because you are not a cop. And you don't have the authority to ask to search his car.
Okay. Well, I see you're out here and you said you're watching traffic. Are you out here trying to catch people violating speeding laws or any traffic violation that you can find? Even if there's no victim involved?
I'm calling shenanigans on this one. There is no such thing as a victimless crime. The victim in a traffic offense, if it's not a collision or somebody that has hit somebody, would be the city or the county or the state, depending on where it happened. So, they would be the victim, because when we got our licenses, we all agreed to follow the traffic laws. And if you disobey them, you create a victim.
Correct?
Traffic violations don't require a victim.
Boom. Roasted.
Traffic violations don't require a victim?
Correct.
Okay, so if that is true, which I would agree with you, are you insinuating that these private sector human beings that are driving in front of you are obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law?
Shenanigans. I'm calling shenanigans on this one. Val, you're a frauditor. You're supposed to disagree that there's no victim. But you agree there is, so I'm calling shenanigans for your lack of conviction. Also, the whole thing of the private sector's obligations to obey this system known as traffic law is something that we all agree to. when we go to the DMV and we fill out our licenses and we sign for them. We agree to obey the rules and the laws of the roadway. If they break them, there are punishments, such as points on your license, the possibility of losing your license, and fines and fees. You agree to when you sign for your license.
They're required to follow the Arizona state traffic law, correct?
Okay, that's your claim that they're obligated to obey a written instrument called state traffic law, correct?
That's how you want to twist it, sir.
I'm not twisted. I'm asking you, is that your claim?
I'm telling you that everyone with a license must follow and abide by Arizona traffic law.
I understand that's your claim.
It's not a claim, it's what it is.
Right, you're claiming that private sector human beings are obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law, regardless if there's a victim or not, correct?
Are you stupid or something?
Anyone driving on a roadway must abide by traffic law.
Is that a claim or...
It's a fact.
Okay, so you're claiming they're obligated to obey.
Fact and
So,
claim are very different, sir, if you want to get down to it. But
okay, so let me ask you this. If you believe that to be true, if I put you on the stand in a court of law, and I asked you specifically what facts you relied on that would prove the person you pulled over and gave a ticket to is obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law, what would you present that court?
you gotta be more specific, sir. because
I don't know
you're
if I
being
can
very
be more
broad
specific
with
than
it.
that.
Let me help you out, Val. You see, there are instruments gauged for measuring the speed of a car, and there's a radar. They can calculate the speed. There's also something known as pacing, which not many courts agree with, but they do allow it. And there's also something called dash cam. The radar and dash cam would indicate that they saw you speeding and you broke traffic law. So, there you go. There's your evidence.
Okay.
That's crystal clear. You're making the claim in a court of law that
I'm
the
not making
person...
any claim.
Sir, when you're in a court of law, you're claiming that the human being you just gave a ticket to is obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law. That is your claim. I don't know how you don't see it as your claim that is factually your claim. So when I ask you, and I don't know how I can be more specific, if you're on the stand in a court of law in front of the judge and you are asked specifically, are these private sector human beings that you give tickets to obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law, would you say yes or no?
They are obligated to follow traffic law based off the license test that they took, the registration that they signed to pay for the roadways, and everything to keep every citizen safe and abide by the same laws that everyone else does.
Okay, so we understand your claim now. Now the next question is, what facts can you present to the court in front of the judge that would prove that claim to be true? What
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
facts do you rely on, or how do you know it's true?
Depends on each traffic violation. Each situation is very different.
I don't think you're understanding my question, sir.
Fine.
There's a written instrument you're claiming people are obligated to obey. That written instrument is used by the state to extort private sector human beings violating a written instrument called traffic law. I'm asking you what facts you rely on that would prove private sector human beings are obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law.
Well,
Keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
clearly you don't like my answers, so
You haven't given me an answer. You haven't told me what facts you rely on.
again, it's based off each individual interaction with each individual driver, based off of whatever they are doing at the time of the incident, the traffic stop, or whatever violation they have committed. That is what I go on. So we could be done here. If you don't want to continue, if you want to keep going in circles, you're welcome to, but
Well, you haven't
we're
answered the
not gonna
question.
be entertaining you any further, sir.
Well, sir, let me just remind you of something. If I were to pull you over and say you're obligated to obey my written instrument that you can't go over 5 miles an hour, and I have the written instrument in my hand, what would you say to me?
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
and now I'm going to give you a ticket for $100. What would you say to me?
Again, I'm not going to entertain.
Do I need
any
facts
further.
proving that you're obligated to obey my written instrument?
Is anyone else getting Jeremy DeWitt vibes off this boy? Because he's starting to sound like he wants to be a police impersonator or possibly a sovereign citizen. I don't know, but we'll have to keep a close eye on him.
Do you have the facts of radar? Do you have the facts?
I'm not
of
talking about the
anything
actual
that-
violation. I'm talking about the
I'm giving you
obligation
the
to
facts
obey.
of it, sir.
Sir, I'm not talking about the actual violation.
We're going in circles. I'm not going to entertain you any further. So
Okay,
I
true or-
appreciate your time,
true or
and
false?
I appreciate your questions, but
Is the violation the secondary claim or is it the
Again,
first claim?
we're going to be done here, okay, sir? I
It's
appreciate your time.
that's
Thank you.
super unfortunate, sir. You couldn't answer the question.
I've attempted
Let me
to
make one thing
answer
perfectly
very-
clear.
Many times.
Let me make one thing perfectly clear to you, and I hope you take this and really think about what I'm about to tell you. When you have the ability, through the use of intimidation, coercion, and force, to pull people over and give them a state-sanctioned extortion demand for violating a written instrument that you clearly cannot prove anyone's obligated to obey, that's called extortion. In fact,
Right.
hold on,
I
that's
appreciate
called
your
states.
opinion.
Hold on,
We're done here,
that's
sir.
called
I'm not
state-sanctioned
gonna entertain you
extortion.
any further. I appreciate your time, but I'm not going to
You,
entertain you any further.
so when I'm calling out the crimes that you're committing,
I'm not committing any crime.
You're committing
I'm sitting here
state-sanctioned
watching
extortion.
traffic, sir.
you're committing state-sanctioned extortion.
That's your opinion, and I appreciate your opinion, but we're not going to continue.
And my opinion is based on the fact that you can't prove anybody's obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law. If you have the ability to pull people over but you don't have the right, that makes you a criminal. In order to have the right, you have to be able to articulate facts you rely on that would prove the people you're pulling over are obligated to obey the written instrument called traffic law in the first place. Okay?
You have
Take
a
that
wonderful night, sir.
take that home with you. Let that fester in your mind, okay? And understand
I'm going to get back to my job, sir. Thank you.
Well-
You can.
We're ending the video here. Val goes on a rant that makes him sound so soft-sid that I'm willing to bet he'll become a soft-sid in the next few months. If you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it really helps me with the algorithm. I'll also be linking the link to Insomniac Films' fundraiser. Please help someone in our community achieve their dreams of getting their film studio off the ground. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.